Imagine waking up tomorrow. You unlock your phone, ignore 3 alarms, and promise yourself you'll sleep early tonight. Yeah, good luck with that. Because the second you look outside, something feels wrong. The trees are bent sideways, cars are sliding across the road, people can't even stand. Birds are flying backwards. Then, the wind hits. Not 50 kilometers per hour.
Nope.
Not 200.
Nope.
Over 1,600 kilometers per hour. The air itself is moving faster than a fighter jet. No earthquake, no asteroid, no alien invasion. The Earth just stopped spinning. And believe it or not, that's not even the worst part. Because before you even have time to understand what's happening, human civilization has already changed forever. Most people think that if Earth suddenly stopped spinning, gravity would disappear and we'd all float into space. Nope.
Okay.
Gravity doesn't care if Earth spins. It's created by Earth's mass, which is unfortunate because everything else is about to care. A lot. Right now, every person on Earth is moving with the planet. Near the equator, that's about 1,670 kilometers per hour. Faster than a commercial airplane. You don't notice it for the same reason you don't notice a plane cruising through the sky. Everything around you is moving together. The ground, the buildings, the oceans, the air, everything. But imagine you're sitting in a car going 1,600 kilometers per hour and someone instantly slams the brakes. The car stops. You don't. Now replace the car with Earth. The planet stops. You keep going. At over 1,600 kilometers per hour. No superhero survives that. No bunker fixes that. For millions of people, the disaster ends before they even understand it began. But somehow, that's still only the beginning. Because while Earth stopped, the atmosphere didn't. And that's when the real nightmare begins.
The atmosphere is still moving at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. Forget strong winds. This is the entire sky trying to erase civilization. Glass explodes out of skyscrapers. Street signs become spears. Cars become missiles. Even tiny pebbles hit with the force of bullets. Going outside isn't dangerous anymore. It's impossible. If you've ever complained that the weather app got it wrong, trust me, this is slightly worse. And just when you think, okay, surely that's the biggest problem. Nope.
Okay.
Because the atmosphere isn't the only thing with momentum.
The oceans have it too. Imagine filling a bathtub and suddenly yanking it sideways. The water doesn't stop, it keeps moving. Now, replace the bathtub with every ocean on Earth. The planet stops, the oceans don't. Billions of tons of water continue rushing forward, creating waves hundreds of meters tall. Not one tsunami, not 2. Entire coastlines disappear beneath walls of water. New York, Tokyo, Mumbai, Shanghai, London. Cities that took centuries to build could disappear in minutes. And here's the terrifying part. The water has nowhere to go. It crashes into continents, then crashes back again. The coastline you grew up with would simply stop existing. Maps around the world would need to be redrawn. At this point, you've survived flying debris, supersonic winds, and the oceans themselves. Surely Earth is done trying to kill you? Not even close. Because everything we've talked about so far happens in just the first few hours. The next disaster doesn't last minutes. It lasts forever. Our 24-hour day only exists because Earth keeps spinning. Without that spin, one day would stretch across an entire year. About 6 months of daylight followed by 6 months of darkness. Imagine standing under a blazing noon sun for months as rivers dry up, crops fail, and temperatures keep climbing. Meanwhile, on the other side of the planet, the sun wouldn't rise for months. Endless darkness, endless cold. A world where one half slowly burns while the other freezes solid. And somehow, scientists think humanity might still have one chance. But to survive, we'd have to move to the strangest place on Earth.
Believe it or not, humanity might not go extinct. Not immediately, at least. Some people could survive, but not where you'd expect. The safest place on Earth wouldn't be a bunker, a mountain, or even Antarctica. It would be the thin strip between the scorching hot side of the planet and the freezing dark side. Scientists call it the Terminator line. No, not that Terminator. Although living here would definitely feel like an action movie. Step too far toward the sunlight and the heat becomes unbearable. Step too far into the darkness and everything freezes solid. But right in the middle, there's a narrow band where survival might actually be possible. Not a comfortable life, just a chance. Imagine an entire civilization living under one endless sunset. The sun never rises, the sun never sets, it just hangs in the sky for months. At first, it almost sounds beautiful, until you remember the rest of the planet is trying to kill you. But here's where the story gets even stranger. You'd think, okay, humans found a place to survive. problem solved.
Nope.
Except scientists think the disaster is far from over. The weather itself would become Earth's next weapon. One side of the planet is being roasted for months, while the other is trapped in endless winter. When those two extremes collide, they could create storms unlike anything humans have ever experienced. Hurricanes that never move, never weaken, and never truly end because the sun's position barely changes for months. At this point, surviving isn't about rebuilding civilization anymore. It's about surviving another day. No internet, no governments, no electricity, no deliveries. Humanity wouldn't be worrying about exams, deadlines, or Monday mornings anymore.
Wow.
We'd go back to the one thing our ancestors mastered, staying alive. And somehow, after everything we've survived, there's still one final twist. Because this entire nightmare is based on something that almost certainly will never happen. And that's the most incredible part of all.
Here's the crazy part. Everything you've just seen, the flying cars, the supersonic winds, the mega tsunamis, the endless daylight, and the endless night, would require something almost impossible. Earth can't simply decide to stop spinning. It would take an unimaginably powerful event, far beyond anything humanity has ever witnessed. And honestly, that's probably the best news you'll hear today. Because if Earth ever did stop spinning, you wouldn't have time to finish this video, let alone post about it online. But here's what really blows my mind. Earth has been spinning for about 4.5 billion years. Every dinosaur, every empire, every invention, every birthday you've celebrated, every football match, every awkward school presentation, every meme you've ever laughed at only happened because this giant rock never stopped turning. And somehow, we almost never think about it. We complain about Mondays, traffic, and slow internet without realizing none of it would exist if Earth stopped spinning. So tomorrow morning, when your alarm goes off and you instinctively hit snooze again, take a second and look outside. The trees are standing still. The birds are flying the right way. The oceans are exactly where they're supposed to be. Everything feels completely ordinary. But beneath your feet, you're still racing around Earth's axis at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. At the same time, Earth is orbiting the sun at more than 107,000 kilometers per hour. Our entire solar system hurtles through the Milky Way at roughly 800,000 kilometers per hour. You don't feel any of it. Not because it isn't happening, but because you're moving right along with it. Sometimes the most extraordinary things in the universe are the ones that feel the most ordinary. Earth has never stopped spinning in 4.5 billion years. Let's hope it never does. If this video made you see the world a little differently, then I've done my job. Make sure to hit like and subscribe to Explained in 10 for more related videos. Thanks for watching.